Now, it's time for the Melissa McFerrin Show, presented by Chick-fil-A. The show is supported by Regional One Health, the official health provider of the Memphis Tigers. Your Mid-South Chevy dealers, the official truck of the Memphis Tigers. The Tennessee Lottery, AutoZone, and MLGW.
Welcome in, everybody. Nice to have you aboard. It was a good week for the Tigers, a game that I think is typical of you, Melissa. We've got a little dramatic flair here. You spotted team 14 points middle of the second quarter. What the heck? We're going to come back. Congratulations.
Thank you. We'll take it. It was a hard-fought win for our team. It was not pretty, particularly early. It was not easy. We had a lineup that was jumbled. We lost Brianna Cochran early in the game, so that took us down even to 8 available players. But I was really proud of our players because we've been talking about maintaining and finding that moment where the game is in the balance, and they really did that.
This game is getting close to history, too. You know, last week we talked a little bit about contract extension and vision, and just to let you know, 1 win away from 200 now, and 1 win away from 150 here in a relatively short period of time.
Well, it's I guess we're 8.5 years in. This is the 9th full season, but as we've said before, it's really on those players that have helped us be successful. As a coach, that's a mile mark that nobody really cares about, except the people like you that talk about it. And I don't mean that badly.
Yeah.
But,
no, but
us,
200 is, I hate to say this, but as I get older, I see this now.
Right.
You start to reflect on moments. That's a big moment, 200.
Well, it'll be a big moment because it's part of my time here at Memphis, and that's very special to me.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And this team has got to be special for you, too, to keep battling the way you do. When you know, I know you're not using it as an excuse, but let's down to 8 in the last game. Come on.
We were, and we only played 7, and we had some heroes come out of that game that maybe were not names that we commonly call, and we'll get to that in the highlights, I'm sure, but Dominique Miller and I thought Loisha Morris were absolutely outstanding yesterday, playing much longer minutes and really significant minutes in the win, aside from the normal names like Cheyenne Creighton and Taylor Williams.
She did pretty well, too.
Absolutely.
Actually, both of them
did
pretty well. Here's what's coming up on the Melissa McFerrin Show. Highlights of the win. It's a great come-from-behind victory against Houston. I wish you'd play those guys more often, only 1 time this year. The Chick-fil-A Outstanding Player, you're going to love her smile, Bria Wilder Cochran. And then with some Regional One Health inside access, we'll go back to the summer. We'll take a look at a trip to Spain. Lots of fun, all coming your way. But the highlights of the win over Houston, that's next on The Melissa Show.
Melissa McFerrin Show, presented by Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back in. Thanks for watching now. Sometimes a team has another team's number. You had to be feeling pretty good. You're seeing Houston. You've knocked them off 5 times in a row now.
We have. They're a different team now. They've, under a new coach, I think this is his 3rd year. He's getting some young talent, and that young talent starting to come together. They're not the same old Houston that they used to be. They've got a little bit more talent now. And so you don't go into a game anymore just knowing that you're going to beat Houston.
You mentioned Dominique Miller. She had a really big game. In fact, a career high 12 for you, getting more minutes than maybe she's accustomed to.
Absolutely. We'll set the stage here a little bit for her wonderful performance. But we came out in a zone against a team that's not a great shooting team. But we spotted about 14 points in the first quarter. As you mentioned, Dominique Miller comes into the game, and she kind of starts us off. You see Taylor Williams hitting a shot there, and now Loisha Morris is in the game. But you'll see Dominique Miller get some steals, run them out. It was a 14-point lead by Houston. I believe by the time she was done with a little bit, we had cut it to 8 at that point in time in the second quarter.
You say they can't shoot, but that looked like a pretty good shot there. You end up leading in this game for 2 minutes and 38 seconds.
The most important 2:38,
exactly.
You might add.
The one at the end is the one that really counts.
Well, it was a struggle for us. Like I said, at times I wasn't quite sure who we had on the court and at what position. So when we're trying to score on the other end with an unusual lineup, that's pretty challenging for your team when they're playing in so many different positions. But as we mentioned, Cheyenne Creighton was great Didn't see a double team in this game, so she was kind of able to cut loose.
23 and 12.
23 and 12.
6 double-doubles now.
Just having an amazing junior year. Taylor Williams was solid again. Taylor Barnes had to play the entire game. At the point, you see Damo still right here, and she takes it in. Tremendous difference throughout the course of this game with her on the floor.
And some say this really is the turning point in the game for you right here.
Oh, it was. There's no question about it. She's the one who got our energy going, got our defense going again. Now we're still in the first half there, but at the beginning of the quarter, Cheyenne Creighton goes to the rim.
She's so fundamentally sound. Always the right foot with the right hand. I do love watching her. Is she going to have any chance at recognition from the conference by the time they start handing out the awards at the end of the year?
I hope so. I hope that we have enough team success in the conference this year for her to be awarded that. But I think she is definitely a player where the other team game plans for. So anytime you get that much recognition from the opposing head coach, then you've got a chance.
Perfect pass there.
Dominique Miller on the finish right there. You see her running the floor again.
Loisha Morris, by the way, had 5 assists in this game.
Loisha had 5 assists, and Loisha had a critical moment in the game, too, where her and another player kind of went. Here's Damo again. I'm going to give her props right here, going to the rim again. But Loisha Morris in the second half had a little run-in with the point guard on the other team. She comes away with a flagrant 1 foul. The other player does. Loisha hits a free throw. We get the ball back. Another critical point in the game.
And here the gap gets closer and closer and closer. And that's finding the open person, huh?
They were pressing us a little bit because they knew that we only had 1 ball handler on the floor. So they pressed us up the floor. We did a great job of breaking their press and coming up with a bucket. Bria Elmore, critical as we go down the stretch here in this game. I was on Elmo earlier in the game because I didn't think she was being aggressive enough either on offense or on defense, but she comes up late in the game. I'm certain we're going to see it here in a minute. Late in the game, she comes up with the 3 that puts us ahead 63-60, which might be one of the first leads that we had.
The aggressiveness there. You get the benefit of that call for sure, and a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Absolutely, and there you see Taylor Williams on the trail again. We had to play call her a lot late in the game because she was at the 4 position. We didn't have that many scores on the floor, so we were having to go to Cheyenne and Taylor a lot. And again, you see that we're trying. Taylor Williams got that late offensive rebound. Loisha Morris, we got 2 offensive rebounds on free throws that gave us those extra possessions. And those extra possessions are probably the reason that we won the game.
Still scrapping, still behind, but it won't last long. And there's the bread and butter.
Yep, Cheyenne Creighton 1-on-1 on the block. And as we've said, it's very, very difficult to stop her in that scenario. Here you see Loisha Morris. Again, some of the uncommon names maybe, but very critical on that run out.
You forced turnovers in this game, and this one may be the most critical.
It was, and like we said, Loisha Morris and Dominique Miller were critical in this game. You're seeing them in highlights here. You haven't seen them maybe that much this year, but
and there's your lead.
That's exactly right. There's the lead, and Dominique Miller again, 5 of 6 from the floor. There on the little assist from Taylor Williams.
Is that a little message, Coach? Play me a little bit more now?
It might be. You know, they want to send that message all the time. There's Elmo's 3-pointer that puts us up by 3 late in the game, and at this point in time, that is critical. I was all over her just the possession before that about not being aggressive enough on the offensive end, and she says, "Here, Coach, this one's for you."
And the win, that's the most important. You see Cheyenne, her 6th double-double. Taylor with that beautiful outside shot. She's got 16 points and a critical rebound, as you saw on the offensive side, and the career high for the lady they called Domino, Dominique Miller. And so you needed this one because you'd had a little tough stretch.
We needed this. The last show we talked about what a tough week it was. This week was the week that we get to come home. We get to play on our home court. We got Houston, we've got UCF coming up, so it's been a good week.
You are about to meet a young lady from Birmingham, Alabama. You'll know her for 2 reasons. Great smile and that doggone knee brace. We'll talk about that in just a second.
Melissa McFerrin Show, presented by Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back in. We get to meet the lady right here in the middle with the smile, Bria Wilder Cochran from Birmingham, Alabama. And I've always wanted to ask you this because not many people use both names. Bria Wilder Cochran.
Yes, sir.
Why all three?
Well, Wilder is my mother's maiden name, and I kind of wanted that side of the family to be recognized as well, so I kind of wanted to add them. So I did my name change my senior year.
Well, I must say, I thought it might be because of the wildness they tell me you can be with your game. Not a serious note. I got to ask you a little bit about the knee brace. I've seen that the last couple of years, and it does look like it's cumbersome. First off, let's start with the injuries. An ACL, right?
Yes, sir. I tore my ACL last year during conference season. Coach wouldn't let me not wear the knee brace, so I'm going to be in it this whole year, this year, and hopefully I can get out of it next year.
Hopefully we can get out
when I build my strength back up. But right now, I mean, I don't think of it as slowing me down. I just play through it and just do what I can.
Well, I know you hustle. I've certainly watched that. And it does seem like your mobility, the ability to cut in particular, it slows you down, doesn't it?
A little bit, but I don't let that stop me. I'll keep going 100%, hard as I can go.
And
so.
Defense also.
Sure.
Is that your calling card?
Yes, sir.
If I were to had you describe your game, what would you tell these folks? What's your strength?
Defender. I like to guard the other team's best player, lock them down, do what I can do.
I think the thing you need to know about Bria Wilder Cochran is that she has the heart of a defender and she has the heart of a competitor, and I think that's one of her great. She's not going to admit to you that her knee's slowing her down. That's not who she's going to be.
Gotcha.
She's going to go lay it on the line, and that's whether she's having to wear that thing on her head because she's had a couple concussions or a knee brace. Bria's coming to play every game, and that's one of the things that I love and really appreciate about her.
All right, then a tough question for you. Which was the hardest thing, the ACL, the concussion, or that your beloved Alabama Crimson Tide lost in that championship game to Clemson? Come on.
That might be it there. I thought I was going down. No, but yeah, that might be it.
We're going to talk about this in a little bit. You took a trip to Spain.
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite part? I know you didn't get to play in the thing, but you got to sightsee. What was your favorite thing?
Definitely going to Valencia. We actually got to go to the beach and do a lot of sightseeing, and we actually got to go to a factory where we watched them make gold. So I thought that was very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so expectations rest of the year. Are you going to be able to play a bunch? I know you didn't get to play the other night.
Rehabbing that back, my hamstring, I'll be back. Before you know it, I'll be back for the rest of the
tease her all the time that I'm wrapping her in bubble wrap, and I'm going to set her on the sideline in bubble wrap because we can't keep her healthy right now. But if she can play, she'll go.
Oh, I've watched her. She's absolutely outstanding. Thank you for coming, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bria Wilder Cochran. We got to take a break. When we come back, you know that trip to Spain, we've been talking about it. You'll get to see fun on the road in the summertime.
The McFerrin Show, presented by Chick-fil-A.
You know, one of the great things about a college experience, forget just being a student athlete, but going to college is the cultural aspect of being with all kinds of different people, learning about the way that other people live. And you got to do that this summer by actually taking them to another place, to Spain. And there's different regions in Spain, and you covered the gamut. Talk a little bit about your philosophy off the court with the young ladies.
Well, the first thing I have to do is I have to say that we have a wonderful booster club, our Fast Break Club, that has made it their goal to finance these types of trips. So once every 4 years, we've taken an international trip. We went to Italy 5 years ago.
Remember that.
Spain this past year. And then they also finance an island tour so that they just believe, as do I, that that's one of the cultural things that's part of education. Me as a head coach, that's one of the most rewarding things that I ever do with a team is take a young lady who may or may not have had these experiences and kind of broaden their horizons, show them a different part of the world, give an opportunity to experience different things like language and money and culture in different countries.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How many of them had ever flown across the ocean, for that matter?
Probably not many. When I was in college, I had not.
Yeah.
So just the one, as we're kind of rolling the video right here, I think we were in Madrid, we were in Valencia, and we were in Barcelona. and we toured the soccer stadiums of Real Madrid and FC Barcelona.
Wow.
We went to the Prado Museum. We also went to, this is Valencia here on the beach where the kids got to jet ski on the Mediterranean, which is, you know,
That's
something
a
not
treat.
everybody has
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
But we also did things like visit the Sagrada Familia, which is the
That's
only...
the church in Barcelona
the
that like will
cathedral.
never be finished?
Well, it's
I've
still
been
under
there.
construction, believe
Yeah.
it or not. The only cathedral I've ever been in that's still under construction and probably has 10 more years to go.
Right.
Obviously, we played 4 games while we were there. We won all 4. That was incredibly important for our team, and maybe even important now that we've lost a couple of players, but we were able to bond. The flamenco dance that you're seeing right here, traditional Spanish dance that our players really, really enjoyed. Got to spend a little bit of time, of course, with one of our mothers that we've lost recently. Bria Elmore's mother was on the trip with us, so
Right.
we've got great memories of that. But the experience for these players, they may not even grasp it all now, but down the road, they're going to understand what a great cultural experience that was. And that's what we're about, is educating kids.
Just for you know, I've been to Barcelona. I did not go to Valencia or Madrid. People rave about Madrid all the time. What was your personal favorite stop?
My favorite stop was Barcelona. I liken it to Sydney if you go to Australia, where Madrid was more like one of the inland places. But Barcelona is the lights and what I view as Spain.
It looks absolutely gorgeous. I know you guys had a great time, and since you say you do it every 4 years, I gotta find out what's next. Where are you going next?
Oh, we haven't begun to think about that. If I ask the players, they say Japan. I say we're not going to Japan. We're going to take one of these nice little tours to someplace other than Japan.
If you do New Zealand, I want in.
New Zealand's not a bad one. I've taken a team to Australia.
Have you really?
I have. So.
You figured out how to see the world, haven't you, Melissa?
That's right. Well, you know, they may have that chance and they may never again, but they will always be able to talk about what the University of Memphis did for them in that way.
Yeah, no, I think those are trips they'll remember forever. The AutoZone road ahead, not quite as far as Spain. 1 at home, 1 away. We talk about that in just a minute.
The McFerrin Show, presented by Chick-fil-A.
The AutoZone road ahead. A couple of games this week. One on the road in Dallas against an SMU team in historic Moody Coliseum.
Good team, great size, took South Florida to the wire the other day at home. So that is a game, every game's critical. That's a tough game on the road.
Well, since you mentioned USF, the number 23 team in the country will be here. And that is a game, I believe, 5:30 in the afternoon.
5:30 in the afternoon. And obviously at their place, we played very well early. Kind of lost it early in the second half, but we're looking forward to them. We beat them last year when they were ranked number 15 in the country.
That would be amazing to get the number 23 team in the country. So we'll see you at the El Marone. We'll see you right back here in a week or two. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Melissa McFerrin Show, presented by Chick-fil-A. The show is supported by Regional One Health, the official health partner of the Memphis Tigers. Your Mid-South Chevy dealers, the official truck of the Memphis Tigers. The Tennessee Lottery, AutoZone, and MLGW.